So what are two little known buy the dips stocks, right, to ride the recovery phase just after COVID-19? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier advisor in Phillip Securities and chief trainer at Trading Impossible. So today we'll be looking at two stocks, and no, these stocks are not SIA or the banks, which are pretty much talked about by almost everyone. Right, we're looking at two stocks which are pretty much not talked about, and these are stocks which came out in our watch list recently. There were some bullish signals that were spotted in the system as well. So in today's video, we look at these two stocks, what these companies are doing. We look at the chart to see why are there some signs of like a reversal or perhaps like a change in the trend from like a downtrend to an uptrend now, and might just be the beginning of more upside. Right, so that's what we look at. We look at the charts as well to see what it says and what the potential upside targets, as long as some of those good support levels are holding. Right, and then we'll look at the system again to see what are some of the bullish signals that we've seen, right, from these two stocks. Right, so the two stocks that we're going to talk about today are right over here, Hong Kong Land, all right over Hong Kong Land US dollar, and HPH Trust. So these are the two stocks. So yes, do stick around all the way to the end of this video, because I think you're going to like what I got for you. We're going to look at these two stocks and see where can we potentially head to. Okay, so let's take a look at what these two companies are doing before we look at the charts, right? So the first one right over here is Hong Kong Land, right? Hong Kong Land US dollar, and as the name sounds, this company is pretty much a real estate developer. Most of its businesses and projects are in like Hong Kong, principally in Hong Kong and Singapore. They kind of like manages like and develop commercial property, residential property, right? So yeah, this is pretty much a real estate developer, right? So let's take a look at the chart for Hong Kong Land before we dive into the system to see what it says. So this is Hong Kong Land as of the 24th of Feb 2021. You can see it's about 4:58 p.m. The market is about to close, and this is Hong Kong Land. You can see all this while, even before COVID-19 hit, since like 2019, we have been pretty much in a downtrend. In fact, we can actually draw this downward sloping channel resistance line right over here. This would be a downward sloping channel resistance line that's been pretty much sloping downwards. Prices have been holding below this line all this while since like 2019. All right, and let's take a look at the moving average to look at the trend. So all this while, you can see this red line would be the 100 days moving average, somewhere around 2019. We come cross back down below the blue line. All right, so the red below the blue 100 days moving average, below the 200 days moving average. So I would say pretty much in a downtrend, when it kind of broke that 640 kind of a support level, it was like heading down from 640 all the way to a low of about $3.50 before we managed to see a bit of a consolidation, a bit of a sideways movement. And now, right now, we're seeing some signs of the uptrend kind of like taking shape, or kind of like playing out slowly, right? Why? Look at it. So we kind of headed to a low of somewhere around that 340, and over the past, I would say since March last year to around like January, I would say about 9 to 8 months, we have been consolidating in this range from 340 all the way to about 450. Look at this, 340 to 450. And what happens is, over the past 1 month, all right, over the past 3 weeks to a month, we managed to break above that $4.50 resistance level. So that's a key thing. That's the first thing to note, right? So we kind of broke above that 450 level, and more importantly, as it happened, look at this, the red line, right? So all this while, the red line, the 100 days moving average, was kind of like below the blue line, right? And all these two lines are all pointing down, and prices were below the two lines. But right now, you can see that this red line, right, somewhere around January, have managed to point up and also cross above, right, the blue line. Look at this, the blue line is the 200 days moving average as well. Both of these two lines are pretty much pointing up right now, and this red line also is like above the blue line. So there are some signs, because of this move above that 450 as well, there's some signs of the uptrend starting to play out. Look at this, right? So this is Hong Kong Land. You can see that since somewhere in like 2009, same thing. Look at this, we are pretty much like what is happening in 2009. It was like pointing down both lines, and the red line started to cross back above the blue line, and that's why we started to see a reversal. Same thing right over here, a reversal up, a reversal back up in like 2014. All right, and this is pretty much what is happening right now. So I would say the immediate support, let me just zoom in for you as where we are right now. The immediate support would be $4.50, right, for Hong Kong land. That would be the technical good support that we're seeing over the past 3 weeks. It seems like we're kind of like consolidating from like 450 to about 480. So yes, I think we might be consolidating here, but the uptrend can probably continue further, right, on a really good bullish move above that 480 level, and that's where we might see more upside happening all the way to potentially about that $5 and maybe that $5.20 level. That would be the upside targets for Hong Kong land, right? The fact that we are kind of like holding above that 450 support, and all these moving averages are kind of like turning up, right? So it kind of like points towards an uptrend as long as this $4.50 support is holding, right? So this is Hong Kong land here, right? I think it's one of those good recovery play, companies that have been hit due to COVID, or maybe even before COVID it was in downtrend, and now, right, there are some signs of a good uptrend starting to take shape, right? So yes, we can start to think about loading out or buy the dips on this counter. For example, if it nears that 450 to 460, that's where you can kind of accumulate on dips to ride the rebound to 480. And of course, that 480 would be key, right? We want to see some really good bullish actions above the 480 before the uptrend can continue to the next phase. Okay, so this is Hong Kong land here on the chart. So let's take a look at the system to see what we have on the system, if there are any bullish entry or exit signals. All right, okay, so this is Hong Kong land, all right, on the 1GT, the one good trend system that I have that kind of guides us on when to get in and when to get out, and also counters to really focus on. So yes, this is Hong Kong land here. You can see that somewhere around February 2020 we got a 1GT bearish signal right over here, and that was where, of course, when COVID hit, everything sold off, and of course we got this bearish signal that came out, started to sell down all the way until somewhere in March, and then we got an exit. Same thing, we got another bearish signal, went all the way down, we got to exit here, right? So they started to consolidate, and what happens, let me just zoom in nearer to somewhere around, so this is October 2020, and this is somewhere around the beginning of 2021, right? So we did have a bullish signal that came out. It was like moving sideways, not much of a move, but somewhere around 6th of January, that's the beginning of 2021, we got a good bullish signal, and then it kind of broke that 435, 440 mark, and that's where it started to push up, and we got an exit. So right now you can see that the most recent bullish signal is right over here on 16th of February. All right, so we do not have any exit signal on this one yet. So I think, as I mentioned, if we do break above that $4.80, I would say 470, 480 mark, that's when this bullish signal can start to play out. We might push to probably around that $5 to $5.20 mark. So that would be the upside targets if we do break that 470 to 480 resistance level that I talked about just now. So we had a 1GT bullish signal right here, right? It seems like we are kind of like still below that 480 level, so that let's see if we can break that 480, and that's where this bullish signal can continue to play out, and maybe 520 to 540, 550 we might see an exit again. Okay, so this is Hong Kong land on the 1GT, the one good trend system. Okay guys, so let's take a look at another stock that you can put in your watch list to ride the recovery phase, and this is HPH Trust Sing Dollar. So clients were kind of like alerted to it. There's a few weeks back, it started to move up a bit, but a bit of profit taking came back, right? So anyway, let's take a look at the charts in a bit, right? But let's take a look at what this company is doing, HPH Trust Sing Dollars. And this company is pretty much in the marine port services, container shipping. It's a Singapore-based container port business trust, and it kind of like owns interest in like 4 deep water container ports strategically located in like Hong Kong and Shenzhen. Right, so they're kind of like in the business of like warehousing, trucking, freight handling, cargo, container storage and repair, and all. So pretty much like a logistic company doing all the marine port services. Okay, so this is HPH Trust. So let's take a look at the charts again before we look at the 1GT system. So guys, if you like this video, be sure to give me an early thumbs up. You will definitely help out the YouTube channel, and thank you so much for doing this. So this is HPH Trust Sing Dollar SGD. So I'm looking at the Sing Dollars one. There's another company, another counter that is the US dollar, but I'll be looking at the SGD, the Sing Dollars. All right, so you can see we are currently trading about 0.32, all right, in terms of the trend for HPH Trust. You can see all this while since like 2018 we were pretty much in like a downtrend. Look at this, right? We kind of broke down the 50 cents support level somewhere in 2017, and it was pretty much just heading down and down and down all the way. Even when COVID hit, it went even lower. All right, right over here. And look at this, the moving averages, the red line, the 100 days moving average have kind of like sloped down and break down below the 200 days moving average, the blue line. So yes, red below the blue, all pointing down, and this is pretty much in a downtrend from like 2017 all the way to somewhere around, November 2020. There are some signs of a good uptrend starting to take shape. We can even draw, what we call a downward sloping channel resistance line right over here. You can see this is how we do it. We can draw like a downward sloping channel resistance line. So prices were pretty much just trading below this line, but any move above this downward sloping channel resistance line could be a good indication that it might kind of like turn from like a downtrend to maybe a bit of sideways and potentially moving up. All right, so this is the HPH Trust from downtrend to uptrend. So right now you can see somewhere around November, right? November 2020, this red line, all right, the 100 days moving average started to point up and kind of like cross back above the 200 days moving average. So that's a good signal of the trend kind of like turning up, from like a downtrend to an uptrend finally, right? After like 2 or 3 years, we are kind of like turned up, and more importantly, we want to really see prices kind of like breaking some of those really critical resistance level, and this level would be that 25 cents. Look at this right about here, 25 cents, right? In somewhere around November, December, we kind of broke that 25 cents, and we were kind of like supported above this 25 cents support level, right? And these moving averages started to turn up. So red above the blue, both of them are pointing out. Of course, the 20 days moving average, there's this green line here, which is also pointing up right now. So in terms of the short-term upside, it is looking positive as well. So yeah, we kind of like covered this counter somewhere around here, kind of like push up to around 0.34, and then kind of like X dividend, and prices came down a bit. But right now, I would say the support, let me just go ahead to look at the support again. So right now, this support level would be at that 30 cents mark. Let me put this as green color. That would be the support, and also this can be in green color. So 30 cents would be the immediate support level. After that, it would be back to that 25, but hopefully these 30 cents would to hold. All right, and that's where the 20 days moving average line is as well. So we might start to push up, I would say, the uptrend. Looking at this right now, in terms of the green pointing up, red line 100 days moving average pointing up, and the blue line pointing up, this could be a start of the uptrend forming. All right, if we do hold above a very critical 30 cents support level, so we might consolidate from like 30 to 35 cents, maybe a bit of profit taking, come back down again, in this range before attempting to push higher. So the next support, the next resistance would be at that 35 cents level, and then you might see a bit of profit taking, come back down. But after 35 cents, that's where we can start to see more upside from 35 to like 40 cents. As it consolidates, it push higher, it consolidates, that would be a good healthy uptrend, right? So this is HPH Trust, right? From the moving averages, we are seeing some signs of good uptrend taking shape, and of course we want to see those good support levels like the 30 cents holding for now, and that's where the uptrend can potentially continue, right? That's where you can also put this counter in your watch list, right, to ride the recovery phase. So this is HPH Trust Sing dollars on the 1GT system, all right, and somewhere around, so it was pretty much in the downtrend. As I mentioned, we had some bearish signal, somewhere in May, in June, it went down a bit, a bearish signal went down a bit, and somewhere around October, so I mentioned somewhere around October, November, there were some signs of the uptrend starting to take shape. We saw the moving averages, the 100 days moving average, starting to U-turn back up and kind of like cross back above that 200 days moving average. So yes, we did had like a bullish let me just zoom in, 1GT bullish signal somewhere around October, right? Started to push up. We got an exit, a bit of profit taking, but then we got another bullish signal somewhere in December, all right, 18th of December, started to push up, got an exit, a bit of profit taking, and somewhere around February, just a few weeks back in February, we got a bullish signal, went up a bit, and that's where we got an exit. So this is HPH Trust. Right now there isn't any bullish signal because we just got an exit, alright, but doesn't mean we got an exit means it's like, well, it's bad, it's all the way down. No, we might probably see an entry signal again. I think we might consolidate above that 30 cents. I think that's where we might, if we hold above a few days, a new bullish entry signal might come out again. That's where it might start to push up. We break at 35, we probably push to 40 cents, alright. So this is HPH Trust on the 1GT system. We had some bullish signals since October, and yes, we got an exit along the way, but it seems like it is still playing out now as long as this 30 cents support is holding. So yes guys, there we have it. We have kind of like covered two stocks that are in my watch list to kind of ride the recovery phase. Alright, and you can put them in your watch list too, right? So these are stocks whereby, you know, there were some bullish signals that came out from the chart. There's some signs of the good, you know, uptrend starting to form up, right? And we have seen like the trend indicators starting to turn up as well, right? So I hope you like this video. If you have not yet subscribed, be sure to, you know, smash the subscribe button so that you will be alerted to any videos like these. And of course, give you a like as well. It will definitely help out the YouTube channel. I hope you like this video, and yeah, do comment below to let me know your thoughts. All right, and if you have any stocks that you want it to be you know, shared as well in terms of an opinion, right, do comment below as well, and I'll, you know, try to find time to do it. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Joey here. Take care.